Hey guys, Brent Hull, Wednesday design videos. Had a client in Nebraska who's wanting a period revival house from the 20s, right? So how do we do that? How do we make it look right? Check it out. Let me know what you think. This is a house in Nebraska that they're trying to build a timeless house, and they wanted some ideas on kind of how to do that. The problem, or the challenge is that they want an English house, but they don't want timbering, okay? And they don't want some of these other aspects. This is the side of the house. There's the other side. Notice how big the garage is and how that peak overwhelms that peak. The width of the house, kind of how this is put together. Those arched doors, the way the lot falls off, and the way they're kind of they're thinking about the patio in the back. I started playing around with this, and in the 3D mode, you can kind of get a better feel for how this mass is competing with the house. And so this is almost its own separate house, and the materials change, right? We go from stone to stucco, but still trying to figure out exactly how this thing comes together and what it looks like. So, and there's the back of the house. And again, this is something we'll continue to work on with these people as we go through this, but this doesn't look like an English house. At least it doesn't look like that to me. Mainly it's the windows, and a lot of people want that view out the back of the house and want to see all that. And so windows is going to be a big thing we focus on, kind of how it's put together. But one of the things to me was I want a 1920s, turn of the century period revival house. And so, immediately when I look at this front, I want to reduce the size of this. If you look at the floor plan, you'll note that, this garage kind of has an extra area here with storage, but this is already huge. This is over 25 feet, so it's a big space, and they've got storage room on either side. They could put storage here. I just don't feel like they need that much deal. There's also no second floor in this house, so this dormer is kind of a show. it doesn't really function. And so the things that I'm working on, okay, just start left and right. I did put a big cat slide, cat's back detail into this house to give it kind of that 1920s charming kind of feel. I wanted this to feel like you're looking at a house from that period, and this is a very popular detail. It's called a cat's back or a cat slide that sweeps down. It also kind of, it emphasizes the importance of this piece here as opposed to this one. You'll notice that if you look through here, how big that garage was, and what I've done is I've taken off that little area here and I've reduced this side. They have the little cat slide here. I've taken that out. I've gone with a wane edge siding. Now, a wane edge siding is that if you have a log, okay, and you cut their siding from the log, this is called the wane, okay, and it's called and when that board, okay, the way typically it looks is the bottom edge of that board looks like this, because that log, as you've cut through this, is not perfect, and so as the saw cuts through here, it creates this what's called a wane edge, and you'll have something like this, and then the next one does the same thing, and so this is a wane edge siding that I think looks really charming and kind of simplifies it, gives it a little bit more character, okay? In the stucco, I've introduced these wood beams. Now, they didn't want a lot of timbering, and so I have tried to de-emphasize some of the timbering, but I still want some timbering in there. I still think that's going to give this timeless look and this timeless feel if we do some timbering. So, I've got timbering above these windows, above the garage, and I put these rustic shutters here. Again, I want to emphasize that this is the garage and this is the main house. I think they compete too much in this view. And it certainly, when you look at it from the side and from the back, this is just too massive, and I want to de-emphasize it. So the other thing that I'm playing with is, because this gable is much taller and kind of prominent, I gave it a better window here. A single door versus the double door. There's really not a precedent for a double door in kind of this English cottage deal, so I've taken that out. And they said they don't mind double hung windows instead of the typical diamond pane leaded glass window. They wanted, the 6/1, which is what I've given them here, which is more of a period revival look. I did, force them to do one leaded glass window. This is the bathroom, so this will be a little bit more private when you go in here. This is a utility area here, garage. And then I did, certainly part of that story is to have, kind of a cute and charming dormer up there. And so I did put a dormer. And notice how I played with lights and sizes of lights, that these lights are the smallest, right? Because they're secondary buildings. Glass was something that was very expensive. And so you wouldn't have used big pieces of glass in a dormer, in a garage, and so it would have been smaller. And so the bigger pieces are out here, right? We're just using the past to kind of help convey a bunch of stuff. And so, limited timbering, there's still some timbering, the wane edge siding, helping the massing so that these gables don't compete with one another. This dormer was much too big. I've simplified that. I mean, it's now this size. Single door versus double door. I don't like these windows. This window's too big for a garage. These windows tell the story when you're standing there like, well, what is this building? Because that's a pretty important window over here. And there should be a communication of where I'm supposed to go, what I'm supposed to do. And I think this plan does that much better. Some of the other areas I played with is just these gable end vents. I don't want them all the same. You'll notice I've gone with kind of a little small one there, a square one there, a little bit different there. The problem with building today is that people want to order them from a catalog, and they come, and the more I order, the more money I'm going to save. But that isn't really the way it needs to be done. It needs to be that each one has a different purpose. I don't even know if this is in Nebraska, whether they'll even have a vented attic. And so there's other ways we could deal with that. If it's not a vented attic, you could do some stone work and some other detailing in there. So dealing with the stucco, dealing with the stone, you'll notice I've got these large pieces of stone. In the period revival area, you'll sometimes see these large, almost flagstone type pieces of stone mixed in with the rubble or mixed in with brick even. So there's some material choices that we could make here that could highlight this. I put a hood molding over the windows, just a bunch of different period details, looking at historic precedent to kind of help, put this house together and help it make sense. Okay guys, playing around with the materials, playing around with window sizes, playing around with that dormer even, all harken back to the past, all give that much more of a timeless look. Let me know what you guys think. I'm Brent Hull, thanks for watching.